Buried Child won a Pulitzer Prize for Sam Shepard when it was first produced in 1978, and it's been making waves wherever and whenever it's gone on stage. In its latest incarnation, it's at Curve in Leicester, and it stars Matthew Kelly as the central character, Dodge. Let's have a look at him in the play.
Where'd you get that?
Picked here.
You picked all that? You expecting company?
No.
Where'd you pick it from?
Right out back.
Out back where?
Right out in back.
There's nothing out there in back.
There's corn.
There hasn't been corn out there since about 1935. That was the last time I planted corn out there.
It's out there now.
Hallie!
Matthew Kelly is with me now. Matthew, you've faced many challenging roles in your time. Indeed, you've picked up an Olivier for one of them. Tell me, how challenging was this in comparison?
Well, I'll tell you how challenging this is. Well, it's Sam Shepard, a play for which he won the Pulitzer Prize, and quite rightly. And it's a dark, dark piece. And I play the head of this awful family that's completely fallen apart because of some dreadful act that happened. And you do find out by the end of the play exactly what happened. You will be shocked and appalled. It's dark, it's funny. But the challenge for me in this play is that I have to sit on a sofa for 2.5 hours and chain smoke. Brilliant. A result. That's a real challenge, isn't it? It's a tough part. He's a dying man, and he's got a lot of baggage that he has to unload onto the audience. But it's one of those plays it's funny, but you have to be, I think you have to be quite sick to laugh, because you know, you'll laugh and you go, I shouldn't have laughed at that really. And what's great about it as well is that my own son is in it. My own son is playing one of my sons. And the other son is played by a man called Michael Beckley, who was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest playing McMurphy. Marvellous actors, both of them. It's a great company, it's a great play, and it's a great thing to be in. So it's a challenge to do it, but it's also a great joy.
Now, you're smiling now, but as you say, it is a challenge. And do you take the part home with you? Does it actually sort of disturb you when you've gone back to the hotel or wherever you're staying?
It's only pretend, you know, it's not real. We're only telling a story. So you kind of could say, if you tell a story to someone, do you take that home with you? I said, to an extent, I think you do. When I was doing Waiter for Godot last year with Ian McKellen, I was playing Pozzo, and I was told by my family that I indeed did take Pozzo home with me. And because he's an awful, awful man, a bully and a coward and a control freak. And in many ways, this part is similar to that, I suppose. I mean, I have quite a jolly disposition anyway, but I love to do good writing, and good writing is always uplifting. I'm not necessarily uplifted by the play itself by the end of the day. I'm ready for a pint, I could tell you.
Now, you became, and indeed still are, a household name for Stars in Their Eyes.
I know, after all this time.
Yeah, do you miss that?
No.
Or do you prefer doing this?
No, I don't miss anything.
You don't miss it?
No, I don't have to. People remind me of it all the time, like you just did just then. I mean, it's nearly 10 years since I stopped doing that, and I had a wonderful time doing it, and I did it for 11 years. And it was a great experience. And I loved working with the crew. It was a very Manchester show. I loved to work in the provinces. It meant that I could live with my parents. I think that's why they booked me, because I was cheap on digs. And my mum and dad used to look after me, and it was a chance to see them for 3 months of the year. And I like to get out of London, because I'm not keen on playing on London. Because when you go out into the provinces, like I come to Leicester to do this play, it means I'm here for 2 months. You're playing to a community. You're living within a community. You're being, and the people of Leicester, as you know, are really, really nice people. Everybody says hello to you. And so you have a sense of continuity about it. Whereas in London, everybody goes home at night after the show in the company. Because the company here are like my little family, you know, and my new best friends. But in London, everybody goes home. You're playing to people from all over the different parts of London. You're playing to tourists, you're playing to passing trade. It's not the same experience at all. But it's a great thing to do, and it's a great experience to have. And we get to travel the country and lark about and play at dressing up with our mates.
Well, nothing seems to have changed for Matthew Kelly. Matthew, thank you very much. And Buried Child is on at Curve, as it's rightly called, until December the 3rd. This is Bharat Patel for Pukaar News in Leicester.